City fans? City are going to win the league against Manchester United, are they? Fuck off. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Flying Pig here. Come on United, get in there my son. United have just beaten Man City at the Etihad Stadium 3-2. Get in there! Stopping those bastards from winning the title against us today, we did. What a fucking comeback that was in the second half from Manchester United. The first 45 minutes from Manchester United today were absolutely noisy, abysmal. They were shocking. They were terrible. City dominated us. We didn't even have a shot on target in the first 45 minutes of the game. City could have been 3 or 4 up at half-time, but you know what? They didn't. They weren't. They scored 2 by half-time. Company, Gundogan, making it 2-0. United fans, head in hands. Are City going to win the league against us today? They've been the best all season. They've been the best today. But no, half-time. What does Jose Mourinho do? He rallies those troops. He rallies those troops. The lads show the fight, the character, the determination, the bollocks to get back into that game today. And boy, oh boy, did we do that with that second half performance. What a stunner from us. Paul Pogba! Paul fucking Pogba! 2 goals from Paul. Unbelievable performance from his second half. Where has that been all season, Paul Pogba? That's what we wanted to see. Big game player for a big game. It doesn't get any bigger than the Manchester Derby, does it? No. And Paul Pogba delivered in spades in that second half. 2 fantastic goals from him. The first one, a lovely teamwork move. Lovely play by Sanchez. Lovely chest down to Pogba, who slots it away. And then the header as well from him off that crazy hairdo. You know, it was just absolutely unbelievable. And then Chris fucking Smalling pops up with a perfect finish from Chris Smalling. Ball over the top. Stunning finish from Chris Smalling. He was absolutely dog-turned shite in the first half. But in the second half, he more than made up for it with that unbelievable finish from Chris fucking Smalling. Oh, hey everyone who's tuning in right now. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm absolutely buzzing my tits off. Buzzing them off, I'm telling you. Because that was a stunning comeback from us. How sickening would it have been, really? How sickening would it have been to see City lift the trophy today after dispatching of Manchester United in an easy way? You know, first half of that game, going in after the first 45 minutes, surely you thought we were done. Surely you thought the game was wrapped up. City have been way too strong. They're just too good, aren't they? But no, Jose showed in the second half, and the players more importantly showed in the second half, that if you get at City, you can make them feel very, very uncomfortable. You can get at them. Look at what Liverpool have done to them recently. Don't be afraid. Attack. Press high. Don't be afraid. And you can get the very best of City. And that's exactly what we did in that second half. That was nothing short of an absolutely miracle-stunning performance in the second half from United. David De Gea! David De Gea with an incredible save at the end there. David freaking De Gea gets another shout-out from me because he has been just one of the key players to Manchester United over the last couple of years, and today, again, another ridiculously world-class save from him late in that game to keep Manchester United winning that game. It was absolutely stunning. So yeah, I mean, I just need to calm down a little bit, lads and lasses. Sorry about this, I'm all over the place. That was an absolute roller coaster of emotions, that second half. Brilliant game of football, though. All credit to City. You know, they have been the team of the season this year, rightly so. Pep Guardiola's got them playing some unbelievable football. And any betting man out there, surely, who you know, wouldn't even think of putting that bet on at half-time, you would have thought it was over with. City looked too strong. Manchester United not shot on target in that first half. We were that bad. But it really was a game of 2 halves for Manchester United. We totally turned it around. I want to talk about Paul Pogba for a little bit, because I think that's the best 45 minutes we've seen from Paul Pogba in a United shirt. And yeah, okay, maybe I'm just saying that because of the magnitude of the game, because it is against City, because we are 2-0 behind. Because if we don't get something out of that game, then City lift the trophy whilst playing us. Nobody wants to see that. So for Paul Pogba, our man who was supposed to be this big match winner, this big difference maker for United since coming in for a ridiculous price tag, hasn't really lived up to it, in all honesty. But today he did. Today he did. What was that, Pep Guardiola? What are you chatting about before the game, Pep, about Pogba? Saying you offered him? You offered him, but you went, nah, mate, he's too much. He's not worth that. He's not good enough. Nah. Now fucking look at you! You still won the league by about 18 points, but still what I'm saying is he did the business today for Manchester United. Absolutely unbelievable. Stunning performance from Paul Pogba second half. Pulled the strings, finished them off. He did the lot. Paul Pogba, stunning to see. That's what we wanted to see from Paul Pogba all season long. It's taken until, like in April, for it to happen. But either way, our match winner is hopefully... going to continue this now for Manchester United. Paul Pogba, get in there. Right, everyone who's tuned into this video right now, thank you so much for stopping by on the match reaction for the Manchester derby. If you're just joining me and you don't know, we just dicked City a new one, 3-2 at the Etihad Stadium. Get in there. Incredible comeback from United. I'm going to go through some of your comments now. Michael Adeloji, he says De Gea is the man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that save at the end there. How many times has he done that this season? It's like every single game he saves our blushes in some way. He's that good. Get him signed up. Give him a freaking mansion every single week. I don't care. The lad's worth it. He's such an incredible goalkeeper. He wins us so many points on his own. Scott Housengard says, when Paul turns it on, he is near unstoppable. I have to agree with you based on the performance he's put in today against City. Let's not forget that City were 2-0 up in this game. City at, 18 points clear or something ridiculous in the league this season, and they've barely lost to anybody. In fact, in the league, is that City's only, is that only their second loss in the league? I think it may be. Obviously they lost against Liverpool earlier on in the season in the league, but I can't remember them losing to anybody else. So just the fact that we've done it away from home in such a huge crunch game, all Manchester derbies are big, but this one was very big indeed, just simply because they could have won it today if they had beaten us. So yeah, I think when Paul does turn it on, he was near unstoppable. He was today anyway. Some of the passes he played, the finishes, the two lovely finishes, just the drive, the passion, the determination, the fight, the balls that we saw from Paul Pogba today was absolutely brilliant. He really did the business for us today, so I have to totally agree with you, buddy. Stay Clint, he says, in the accent of Borat, nice! Get in there, Stay Clint. It was very nice indeed, and that was a shitty Borat impression I did there, but you put me on the spot, pal! You put me on the spot! Fireball 034, how's it going? He says, me and my dad went mental at the third goal, and we rung my auntie, and she sounded so shocked. I know, man, it's crazy. Who would have saw that one coming? I really didn't see the fight back to be on at half-time. Just the way things were, the lads looked dejected. We were second best in that first half. City dominated us, 2 goals for them. Could have been more. United not a shot on target. It was all stacked against us going in at half-time. Whatever Jose Mourinho has said at half-time needs to be written down, because I'm sure it was pretty epic. Whatever he's done to rile these players up, they needed riling up. It wasn't acceptable going in at half-time. And Jose, being Jose, managed to get the very best out of them for that second half performance and upset City against all the odds. So, you've got to give Jose Mourinho a lot of credit there, because he could have easily crumbled in that second half. He could have easily, had a knee-jerk decision, substitution, tactics-wise, something, But whatever he said to these lads was enough for them to really take the fight to City in that second half. Ziggy Pop says, best player in the world. I think, are you talking about Pogba here, are you? He's still got a little way to go to prove that. If he can do this sort of thing consistently, then there's no doubt about it. When he was at Juventus and he was doing this week in, week out, he was certainly in that conversation. But you cannot really be in that conversation, in a struggling team, in a transitional team, but struggling team for their standards anyway in Manchester United at the moment. And when you've been putting in struggling performances, you cannot be the best player in the world right now, but one day he definitely could be. Sukrishnalal Pasha, you're going to have to change your name, pal. Just sorting it to Sukri. Okay, no, I'm only joking, but he says, great commentary, Pig. Rub it in their faces. If there's anybody watching now from the blue side of Manchester, fucking have some of that. How's that? Brilliant. Stephen Zevon says, lose to Liverpool, lose to United, lose to Liverpool again, lose to Tottenham. Could they bottle it? Could City bottle it this season? Just imagine that. I think they've conceded 3 goals in the last 3 games. It's a bit unlike City. Have the wheels fallen off? I think we're like 18 points behind them with a possible 18 points to gain. I I think we're going to win the league. I'm going to be honest with you, lads and lasses. No, of course that's not going to happen. City have got the league wrapped up now, but yeah, they'll be twitching just a tiny little bit if they do lose to Tottenham in the next game, because now I think they can't even win the league at Tottenham for some reason. Or maybe they can actually, but either way, they've got Tottenham next. That's not an easy game for them. Tottenham could easily turn them over. They're that sort of team. They always go for it. They're basically like, sort of in Liverpool in that sense, where they're not going to sit back and try and counter-attack City, I don't think, in that game. They will try and take the game to City, and they may get a positive result from it. So yeah, I think that's it's got a potential for to go down that way, for Tottenham to win this game, for them to have that unfortunate result against Liverpool, and for them to maybe bottle it in the second leg, which 3-0 down in the Champions League tie against Liverpool. It's a very tough ask for Pep and his lads to get back into that one. Tottenham, they could easily beat City. So yeah, we could be seeing a little bit of a downturn in form for City at the moment, but in all honesty, let's be honest now, they're too many points ahead. They have already won this league this season. I mean, today was just about United stopping City from winning the league against us, because that would have been a bitter blow. That's a bitter pill to swallow. We do not want to see those wankers, that freaking alien-headed company and et al., parading around the pitch with the Premier League trophy. We don't want to see that, and we're not going to see that, because Manchester United fought back in that second half and put in a monumental performance to secure victory against all odds. Rohan Sen, hiya Rohan, thank you for your comment. Sorry, just having a bit of a snot issue here. Not feeling very well today, but I'm feeling much better after that. Rohan says, best 45 minutes of the season for United. Have to agree, everything about it. The fire, the passion, the determination, the full-bloodedness of it. It's how a Manchester derby should be. All credit to City for the part they played in it. Lots of yellow cards all round. Lots of rough tackles. Ashley Young on Aguero springs to mind, Lots of committed, tough challenges today, as you would expect in a Manchester derby. And really good performance from Manchester United defensively as well. Let me just say that. Okay, Pogba and Smalling got the goals, and it was great going forward in that second half. But defensively in that second half as well, from the likes of De Gea, the likes of Smalling and Ashley Young, some of the last-ditch challenges that were made, some of the blocks, some of the, getting the ball out of dangerous areas in a real quick, skilled fashion was absolutely brilliant from the backlands today. Yeah, I'm over the moon about it. I'm sure you guys are if you're a United fan, and I'm sure you're not if you're a City fan. Jack and Brad Gamer with a super chat. Thank you very much, Jack. I'm sorry if I've missed any of you other guys' super chats. I'll try and go back through at the end here, but pinging through the comments, so I may have missed a couple. So apologies if I have missed your super chat. But Jack and Brad Gaming, he says, unlucky Pep Guardiola. Original Jack and Brad Gaming. But yeah, I mean, very unlucky for him. Still, he's going to win the fucking league, isn't he? Alex Rincon comments and says, read my super chat. What was I just said? Okay, Alex, I'll go back now. Let me have a look now. See if I can go back and find your super chat. I've got one here from James Arnold. Thank you very much for your super chat, James. He says, City are big-time Charlies. Yeah, unfortunately, they are probably going to win the league this season, though, Alex Rincon, Manchester is red. Gabriel Jesus is a fraud. Manchester is always red. Has this ever been in doubt? I don't give a shit if City win the league. I don't give a shit that they've won previous titles. It doesn't... Manchester is red because Manchester United are the biggest club in Manchester. Man City can't even fill out the fucking stadium half the time, They've got about 25,000 supporters worldwide, So obviously I'm sure they got more than that, but they used to be Chelsea fans, so... Pump University, my brother from America in the house. He says, yes, Pig. He must be absolutely buzzing as well. He's a big United fan, so... it's just one of those days. If you're a Manchester United fan, it makes up a lot for our shocking displays some of the time this season. That first game against City was an embarrassment. We totally deserved to lose that game. And in the first half, today you could probably say the same. But the difference is, we showed that never say die attitude, and we showed that fight to get back into it. And it was all about passion today from the lads. The lads had a lot of passion, and we were able to beat City in the passion department, I think, today. It was all on them. They were tuning up. They could have easily cruised and won that game today. But they bottled it, like the bottlers that they are. Because Manchester United put that pressure on them. We got back into the game. And they started twitching. The backside started twitching. And they just couldn't freaking handle it. They couldn't deal with the pressure. And you've got to at this level. So, unlucky City. Alex Rincon says, dude, if City bottle it, oh my God, imagine that. It's possible, stranger things have happened. You'd be an idiot to think that City are not going to comfortably win the league, though, because they are so many points ahead. Somebody's got to have some pretty big minerals out there and put a little bet on that, actually. Manchester United to win the league? What? 18 points left? 18 points to go? What? It could happen. Johnny Blawell says, Pigmate, are you still confident in Moo as manager? Deep question there. But 100%, yeah, I've said this before in previous videos. I don't see that there's that many great managers in world football that could just slot into the Manchester United job right now. But I do think Jose Mourinho is one of those. He might not play the most attractive football. He might be way too negative for his own team's good at a lot of the times. But he's also a grinder. He will get you results. Whether it's pretty, whether it's ugly, Jose Mourinho does not care. He will get you results. First season in charge of Manchester United last year. What does he do? Okay, we didn't get top four, but we won the Europa League, which got us the Champions League qualification, yeah? It's a trophy. It's the secondary European trophy, but it's a trophy. Oh, it's the FA Cup. No, it wasn't the FA Cup, it was the League Cup, sorry. Mickey Mouse, not the primary cup, domestic cup in England, but still a trophy. And in order to win trophies, you've got to have that winning mentality. You've got to have that grinder ability. You've got to be able to win games whichever way, whether it's ugly, whether you've been the worst team over the 90 minutes, you've got to be able to win those games. And Jose Mourinho is the sort of manager, he's very tactically astute, who's able to set his teams up, and he does play the percentages, He's not a risk-taking manager. Pep Guardiola is probably more of a risk-taking manager. If we're talking about risk-taking managers, Jurgen Klopp he doesn't give a shit if he loses 5-0. He's going to fucking go for it. He's a risk-taking manager. Jose Mourinho is the opposite of that. He's not a risk-taking manager. But he is a safe manager who will get you results and get you trophies and win you major competitions. Just because we've had a bit of a shitter this year and our Champions League campaign was absolute garbage, and that performance against Sevilla was dog turd shite. And just because we've been second best to City this season, we're still second. It's still an improvement from where we were last season and the season before, And if not for Man City being just so unbelievably good earlier on in the season, then, we wouldn't be so far behind them this year. It's them making us look bad more than Moo making us look bad, I think. So I think, have faith in the manager. He showed today with whatever he said to these lads at halftime, whatever he did at halftime, even if he did nothing, which I'm sure he didn't, but even if he did nothing, he's capable of turning the game around against the very top sides. He did that today. So, me personally, I believe in Jose Mourinho. You should believe in him too, because who else is there? Be careful what you wish for, We can't go and get Sir Alex Ferguson back. Who are we going to get at Manchester United now? What, you're going to take a chance on Diego Simeone or someone? Pochettino coming in from Spurs? Yeah, maybe. Would he? Who knows? There's not many managers right now that would fit into the role of the club, I don't think. So I think Jose Mourinho is the best that we can do at the moment. And beforehand, even before we got him, look at what he's won. Look at his trophy cabinet. He's basically unrivaled in football. Yeah, there's Pep Guardiola. Those are the two best managers in my opinion. Robert Ingram, how's it going, Robert? He said, I knew we'd win, Pig. Did ya? I hope you put a bet on that if you did, because that would have been a great little result for you. Alex Rudd says, I wonder if City are just going through the motions. Super chat from Alex Rudd there. Thank you very much. I think you're right. I do think you're right, Alex. There was a lot of talk before the game about City having to pile it on in the second leg against Liverpool, of course, in their Champions League tie. 3-0 down. Are they going to rest players? We saw Aguero on the bench today, had to come on, all that sort of thing. Maybe you could argue it wasn't their strongest side. But either way, I don't think City were really thinking, we're just going to go for the motions here. They wanted to get the job done today. Those players out there on the pitch wanted to win the trophy against United today. There's no doubt about it. You could tell that by their first half performance. They dominated us, and they scored a couple of good goals, and they were up on us up until the second half. So, I don't think you can question their commitment. I just think, we wanted it a little bit more today. We wanted them not to win the league against us more than they wanted to win the league against us today. And we were just a better side in that second 45 minutes. And football, my friends, is a game of two halves. The first half City won, the second half United won by a bigger margin. And that's the way it goes in football, So, you could argue they've got one eye on the Champions League second leg against Liverpool, of course. Gungshi in the house. How's it going, Gungshi? So I've got a real cold. It's all just pouring out of me right now. So I apologise if there's any snot going down the screen. He says, loved seeing Pogba gesturing for the City fans to shut the fuck up at the end of the game. I know, what an unbelievable performance from him that second half. He's probably getting loads of stick going down the tunnel at half time, and then to come out and put in that sort of a calibre of performance in the second half just goes to show you the potential that he has as a Manchester United player. Because it's not just about being a silky player, it's all about doing it at the right time in the big games, being a big game player, a match winner if you like. That's what Paul Pogba's supposed to be from us. This is one of the first occasions since he's been in, bearing in mind he's been in nearly 2 years now, again for a second spell at the club, that I've really seen that sort of match-winning fight-back performance from him against real top-quality opposition anyway. So I'm over the moon for the lad. I think he's got a lot more to prove at Manchester United. As long as Jose can keep him happy, he can get the best out of him. I think we saw that in the second half today, and there's no doubt about it. He did shut those City fans the fuck up. Pixel Perfect comments that says, shit first half, second half, mind blown. Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? It was like a boxing match going back and forward. You fuck off, no, you fuck off, no, you fuck off, no, you fuck off. You know, that sort of thing for the second half. But Manchester United just managed to Mike Tyson that shit, that little bit extra. And we knocked City out before the final bell. So that was beautiful. Robert Ingram, super chat from Robert Ingram. Thank you very much, Robert. He says, I knew we'd win. I've already read this one out. I think he's just super chatting it again. But nice one, Robert. You're a sidekick. We get it. Oh dear. Night Whisper comments that says, no F party at that shit of a stadium today. I know, that's what today was all about for United. We can't win the league. We can't challenge City for the Premier League trophy this year. They've done the business earlier on in the season. All credit to them. They deserve to win the league this year. They have been the best team in the Premier League. They played the nicest football, scored the most goals. You know, they've been dominant largely. Yes, they lost to us today. They lost to Liverpool earlier. But for the most of the season, I can't think of any other times where they really been under the cosh or anything. It's been a couple of blips for them this season in an otherwise very smooth sailing towards the Premier League trophy, and all credit to them, they deserve it. But yeah, just for us to be able to stop them from doing it today was the most important thing, of paramount importance from us today, to stop that from happening, because that would have been absolutely sickening. And going in at half-time, 2-0 down against them, you would have thought that was going to happen. Dragon Fury, first half was a disgrace, but the players came out fighting second half. Very well said. Yeah, the first half performance from us, like I said, we didn't get a shot on target. City 2-0 up. It was disgraceful from United, really shocking, but as to be expected, based on the previous game against City and how things have been going for us a little bit. So, but yeah, the second half performance, that's Manchester United. That is what Manchester United is all about. That's us. That's never say die attitude and that fight and comeback. Right, Tomu Cow says, where is that sexy Asian twink? Steady on, Tomu! Jesus! So he's talking about my friend Henry Hotspur. He said, where is he? I just want to say to everybody who was expecting a show on Thursday night from us, apologies, we're just not able to do it at the moment, work commitments, that sort of thing. We will be doing one next week, though. And guess what? We'll be doing one tonight as well. Give us about an hour or so, and Henry Hotspur will be on his way round to dissect the Manchester derby, amongst other things as well. So make sure you come back later on the channel to watch the live Pig and the Hen Show podcast. We'll be doing that hopefully around about 9:30, something like that, so you guys will be able to tune in, hear his thoughts on it, hear my thoughts on it, how things are going, of course, and we'll give you a show later on tonight as well. So if you're stuck inside on a Saturday night tonight, then you can always tune in to the Pig and the Hen Show. Odeon comments and says, City should have killed the game in the first half, but great comeback by United. Nemo Nobody says, City bottlers have been on holiday since they went to Abu Dhabi. Insolent scum. I think that's what he said. Marj Aboud, get in there. It is red. FF comments, Man U forever. Robert Ingram, Mourinho knows Pep's tactics. That's the thing. I mean, okay, Mourinho may have been second best in terms of the head-to-head going up against Pep Guardiola these last couple of seasons. But you're absolutely right. He's such a tactician. He did it for years when he had that rivalry at Real Madrid against Barcelona. He knows how Pep Guardiola plays, and he knows how to nullify it and get the best of it. So in that sense, it's very important for us to have a manager just like Jose Mourinho. Alex Rincon comments with a super chat again. He says, will the Pig and the Hen Show return Thursday? Yes, it will, Alex. At least for now it will, This is the thing. We try and make these commitments to you guys, and sometimes life gets in the way. You know, it'd be nice if we, you know, had some sort of if we could treat this as a job and then we just do it all day long. But unfortunately, we have to do our jobs as a job in order to pay the fucking bills. So that's shit, isn't it? That's gash-tastic. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll be able to do that. So, but we'll try and do it this Thursday, Alex, and any other time before that if we get the opportunity. If we get a spare hour, you know, you can count on us to do one. But yeah, we haven't been able to do one do it very often this last week or so. But tonight we will be doing one anyway. Right, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. Walter White comments and says, Pog back. I'm going to leave it with that sentiment. Unbelievable performance from Paul Pogba second half. Match-winning performance from him. So happy for Chris Smalling to get that winning goal as well in the Manchester derby. Have some of that, City. Have some of that, Pep Guardiola. You're not winning the fucking league against us today, pal. Sorry. Jog on. And they'll probably do it against Spurs, won't they? They probably will. Anyway, I'm starting to drip here. It's a bit of an unsavoury sight, so I am going to wrap it up and leave it. But to everybody who's commented and tuned into this live reaction, thanks so much for getting involved. Do us a favour, smash a like on this video if you are here right now. Do me a favour and share it on social media if you could. It would be much appreciated. Also, to anybody who's commented and who I haven't responded to, I do apologise. Obviously, the comments are coming through pretty quick. And the super chats take up most of the screen as well, so of course they're going to get read. So, you know, I apologise if I've not read out your comment, but what you can do is in a few minutes' time when this video has been published to YouTube, you can come back, comment in the comment section, have your say on how it went down today at the Etihad Stadium. Have some of that, City, eh? If you're a City fan, please fucking comment today. Usually I'll tell you to jog on, but I really want to read your moaning comment today about how shit United were. Come back and comment in the comment section. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in to the match reaction tonight. I'm pretty ill, as you can probably see. I don't feel great. I've got a frog in my throat. I've got something in my nose, not cocaine. I've got something in my nose, and but I'm over the moon because Manchester United have just beaten City in the derby after a monumental, incredible comeback. It doesn't get much sweeter than that. Have some of that. This is the Pig. You've been watching Flying Pig United. If you're new around here, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you're a regular member, like, subscribe, comment. Well, don't subscribe again. Well, you can unsubscribe, then subscribe again. But there's no fucking point in doing that, is there? But do that, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you later on for the live Pig at the Hen Show podcast. I'll be joined by Henry Hotspur. We'll dissect the Manchester derby and everything else in the football world. Maybe even get into that nutter Conor McGregor and all that shite. Oh dear. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Pig. I'll speak to you soon. You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Have yourself a fucking good one. Have some of that, City. Manchester is red.